Hi, everybody, and welcome to our live guided meditation today for Healthy Minds Innovations. My name is Stephanie Wagner, and I am a meditation teacher, trainer for Healthy Minds Innovations, and I'm here today to guide you in our practice. So happy that you've decided to join me today. So as we're getting started here, would love for you to share in the chat hello, where you live. So you let me know who's practicing with me today. I see David's already in the room. So nice to have you online with me, David and Robert. Wonderful. So as people are joining our practice today, I'll give us just a moment to settle in. And as we're doing that, let me tell you about who we are at Healthy Minds Innovations. For those of you that might not be familiar, we are a nonprofit that is affiliated with the Center for Healthy Minds at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And what we do is we translate the scientific insights coming out of the Center for Healthy Minds into tools to help people both cultivate as well as measure well-being. We have an app that is freely offered due to the generosity of our donors. So if you're not currently using our app, I highly recommend it. It's such a nice step-by-step training program for your mind in these qualities that are associated with well-being. We have a unique framework of well-being at Healthy Minds Innovations that features 4 different dimensions or pillars of well-being, which are awareness, connection, insight, and purpose. And so what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be focused on the area of insight. So insight are a set of skills that help us to get curious, to help us to actually see things more clearly in terms of helping us to develop a healthy, flexible, and adaptable sense of self. So the area that we're going to be exploring today is the area of our preferences, our likes and dislikes. And so the way that we're going to be doing this is we're going to explore likes and dislikes around sounds, sight, and sensations in the body, and helping us to see our judgments and reactions that take up so much of our attentional energy, again, is in service of helping us to see things more clearly, to see sort of our habits of mind and our tendencies, and to let go of unhealthy patterns and ways in which we relate to the world around us. So very glad to be practicing with you today. And I see I've got other people joining here. Wonderful to see you. Some people from the masterclass and beyond. Wonderful. All right, so we're going to practice probably for about the next 20 minutes or so. And if at any point during the practice, it doesn't feel quite right, it doesn't feel workable for you, or you feel like you're having a hard time, please just feel free to take a moment to rest your mind, or you can, in fact, bring your attention to some other aspect of your experience. So that is the invitation that is always here during our practices. All right, you ready? Let's go ahead and settle in. So finding a posture that feels alert, yet relaxed. You might want to just bring your shoulder blades down and back a little bit. You can even move your neck, place your palms on your thighs, uncross your legs. And you can choose to practice with your eyes open or your eyes closed. And then just take a couple of slow, deep breaths. On each out breath, see if you can allow the mind and body to relax. And taking a moment to reflect on your motivation for coming to practice today. And take a moment to just bring that to mind. Reflecting on how having a balanced mind not only benefits you, but it benefits others around you as well. And so let's begin with a few moments of mindful awareness. And so you can simply bring your attention to some aspect of your experience. Could be sensations in the body, breath, sound, whatever it is, just allow your mind to rest and connect with this support. There's just this light sense of knowing. And so then this support will be what you return to when you notice that you're distracted or your mind has wandered. Bringing awareness to some sort of support like sound or breath allows the body and mind to calm and settle a bit. Okay, so we're going to now explore our preferences for sound. So bring your attention to sounds in your environment. You might notice ambient noise, birds, fan. Maybe there's even moments of silence. So whatever's happening, just bring your awareness there. And as you're doing that, see if you can notice any underlying preference for the sound. Do you notice that you like the sound? You find it pleasant? You dislike the sound? It's unpleasant? Or maybe it's more neutral. There's little or no response. So as you're doing this, see if you can just notice those underlying likes and dislikes. And there's no need to just stay with one sound. However, if there's a sound that you return to again and again, that's absolutely fine. You can simply notice that and see if you can tune into that underlying preference of liking or disliking the sound. And so, if it feels useful, you may decide that you want to label like or dislike or neutral. So, you notice the sound, notice the sound of the birds perhaps is pleasant. You might say, I like it, or like. Notice if, as you do this, there's any sensations maybe that crop up in your body. And notice those moments where maybe your mind has gotten lost distracted, maybe in the judgment. And that's okay. That, of course, is success. And you can just return to what's happening in the present, this exploration of preferences of sound. You might notice as you're doing this that there's a subtle moving towards sounds that are pleasant, and maybe a subtle moving away from sounds that are unpleasant. We're not trying to fix or change any of our experience here. We're simply noticing that tendency of liking or disliking. All right, let's allow our minds a moment to let go. Simply be, allow the mind to rest as it is, not paying attention to anything in particular. Let's just give ourselves a little break. So there's this sense of being present, but not paying attention to anything in particular. Okay, so let's do this same exploration with sensations in the body. So begin to notice any feelings, sensations that you have in your body. And just again, notice the underlying preference of liking or disliking, or maybe no preference at all. And as you're doing that, you may decide that you want to label the preference. So perhaps if there's pain or some sort of discomfort in your body, simply label it unpleasant. Maybe your body's feeling quite good and energized and relaxed. You can label those sensations pleasant. So take a few moments here to explore the sensations in the body. And of course, the foundation of the practice is awareness. So noticing those moments where you're disconnected from the inquiry and the exploration, and just bringing your attention back to noticing those sensations in the body and those underlying judgments and preferences. And perhaps there are more neutral sensations that there's no preference that you have. Maybe the feeling of the feet on the floor, seat on the chair, whatever those things are, you can notice those too. You can even tune into the sensations of the breath. Breath as it moves in and out of your chest and belly, in and out of your nostrils. Notice your relationship to those sensations. Does it feel pleasant, unpleasant? Maybe you don't care so much, so it's more neutral. So notice those sensations of the breath. And notice where your mind is. Is it connected to the exploration of the sensations, or have you wandered and lost in thought and judgment? And gently bring your attention back. All right, let's give ourselves an opportunity to rest again here. So let go of the technique and allow the mind to relax and be natural, present and aware, yet undistracted, not focused on anything in particular. And while your mind is resting in this way, you may notice thoughts come and go. Let them come, let them go. All right, let's try this exploration again, this time with the sense of sight. So if it feels good for you, you can open your eyes to the objects in your environment. And as you are looking around you, see if you notice this subtle pull. Maybe your sight is drawn to something that you think is beautiful. You find it pleasant. Maybe there's some objects in your environment that aren't so pleasant. So once again, using labeling only if that feels useful to you, and just begin to get curious and look around your environment. And as you're noticing these subtle differences here of liking and disliking, and again, notice what happens in your body. What happens in your body when you see something that you don't like? Again, not trying to fix or change anything here, simply noticing. Again, you might notice that you keep getting drawn to one particular object, and that's absolutely fine. See if you can notice the underlying preference that's happening when you're drawn to that object. And there will probably be many things that are neutral, and that's okay too. All right, let's give our mind another opportunity to rest here. Letting go, allowing the mind to be natural and relaxed. There's nothing to do, there's no effort to be put into anything. Just rest naturally. All right, at this point, we've explored 3 different ways to work with likes or dislikes: sound, sensations in the body, and sight. So for the last few moments of practice here, choose the one that you want to continue working with. Bring your awareness there. Notice pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Label if it feels useful. And take a moment to get curious about your relationship to these senses in the body, sounds in the environment, whatever you choose to work on. Notice where your mind is. Are you distracted? You can redirect. Just one more minute here for the exploration. All right, and then you can go ahead and once again, just allow the mind to rest here. Notice the impact of your practice. Notice how you're feeling. A little bit different style of practice today, so it may not have felt as calming maybe as normally your practice does. It's useful nonetheless, so just notice how you're feeling. And if your eyes have been closed, you can open them. All right, nicely done. So if you would please share with me in the chat box maybe how that practice was for you. And I'll just offer a little recap around what we just did. We were working with noticing the preferences in our lives, how we are drawn to certain things, things that we like, things that are pleasant, how we sort of move away from or resist things that we don't like or things that are unpleasant, and that also there's a lot of things that are neutral that we just have no preference for either way. So the goal here is to not change your relationship with what's happening, to simply notice these tendencies, these habits of mind, to notice how much attentional energy these preferences can oftentimes take up in both the pursuing of the pleasant and the resisting of the unpleasant, and just simply know these habits of mind. So just a wonderful practice. Again, working with these habitual tendencies, being able to see these tendencies more clearly helps us to get to know ourselves better. And this is all a part of the process that we undergo when we are practicing insight. All right, so it looks like we've got some people who felt like it was soothing and then felt disturbing. So of course, there's going to be a wide range of practice experiences, and whatever your experience is absolutely just fine. We're not trying to create an experience that's different than the one that we're already having. We're just actually training our mind to see things more clearly as it relates to insight. So wonderful to have you all practicing together today. There are some opportunities to continue to connect with Healthy Minds. We have a Kickstarter class that's starting in the middle of April. This is a 4-week class that's designed to help you develop a meditation habit. So please feel free to check that out if you know someone that might be interested in that. I'll be teaching that class, and I'm really looking forward to it. And of course, you can always connect with us on Mondays in Spanish with Daniela, Thursdays with our rotating list of teachers. I think I will probably be here again with you next week, so I hope to see you then. Wishing you well, and if it's nice and sunny where you live, please take advantage of it, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.